Yes, indeed. Good evening, one. Good evening, all. And how are you? Right. I am giddy with excitement already, I know. For the sheer fact, I've not done one of these shows for a while. And I'm going to tell you now, we are already busy. So, these went, I'll let you into a little trade secret that we're not meant to tell you, but I don't care. These went live just over an hour ago, and they are already flying out the door. This is your brand new Zuri one-day special, £37.97. We are 44 seconds in, and 10% of the starting stock has now already gone. And I can tell you now, we had a vast amount because these are brand new texture plates. So we've got your moulds, we've got brand new moulds on the show, we've got returning favourites to the show as well, and now we're talking texture plates. Now I'm not alone, we have what we could say brand ambassador. Oh yeah. Our Kathryn's here as well. Sorry, Kathryn.
Hello, I've been here all day, Adam.
Well, you have. You've been up since crack of dawn.
Very early, but it's great, isn't it? Because Viva Decor, we've got products on from Viva as well this afternoon, this evening, and of course, brand new Zuri, as you said there. Something a little bit different as well, so techniques will be different to what we've seen before as well. We've still got the clays in, we've still got resin, a new resin as well, but yes, different techniques. So what I am going to say, even if you're purchasing now, please, if you can, do come back throughout each show because you're going to see things you've not seen me do before. Right,
on that note though, let's cover a few bases. First of all, if you've not seen Zuri, they are a quarter of the stock, and your one-day special has already gone. We've not even touched on it yet. So, what are... We know the moulds now. We're here at Hochanda. We are known for our Zuri moulds that we have on the show. The quality are phenomenal. I have never seen, in the year and a bit that I've been here, I've never seen a texture plate. What is a texture plate, and what sort of are the difference that I can use them for?
Well, a texture plate, we have seen texture plates before, but not like these. I have never seen anything like this before. Now, I was working with a texture plate earlier on when I did the Viva show, but it was more of a plasticky material. These are made of the same silicone as the mould, so they're food grade. They are super flexible. These are going to last you. They have got so much detail. It is unbelievable. I have never, ever seen texture plates with detail like this. Look at this. This is beautiful. And if you want to create the exact same detail or the look of that, all you need is items we've got on the show today and some wax or a paint, and you can have that exact look. Of course, if you want to bring in your colours, you can. If you want to snip into these, cut them out. These are great for making jewellery pieces. These are great for making covers for your journals. These are great as backdrops for all the moulds we've already got as well. So what we've seen up to now, Adam, are the moulds that, of course, you can cast, and you can adapt them as well. You can use those moulds in different ways, but they're the focal point. But what about the backgrounds?
Yeah.
You know, what about those beautiful decorative backgrounds? Well, these are going to create those and much more besides.
So in theory, these are our Zuri equivalent of our stencils that we would have used beforehand. So you would have got your stencils, put your texture paste through to get your elaborate backgrounds. Now, Zuri have come up with their own backgrounds that work with all the moulds so well.
They certainly do. I mean, we're talking, you can work with resin with these, you can talk in the different clays, polymer clay, air dry clay, oven bake polymer, as well as air dry polymer. We're talking, when it comes to food as well, we're talking about, of course, your fondants, we're talking about marzipan, we're talking about chocolate as well. You imagine if you've got a cupcake cutter, just a round cutter, and you put some fondant over those, you can go with your nice edible powders and metallic finishes, because you get all those things that you can eat as well, and then cut out a circle and put them on top of cupcakes. You've got the most beautiful cupcakes ever.
We're approaching 30% of the stock now has already gone, and we are 4.5 minutes into our first live hour. Right then, you are getting all three of these in your one-day special. All three, as Kathryn said, they're 100% food grade safe. Obviously, Obviously, if you're using them for food and use polymer clay, you're going to have to go for 2 sets. Do not mix them. From there, they will withstand temperatures from -45 degrees all the way up to 45 Celsius up to 70 degrees Celsius. And also Fahrenheit, that's -45 to 158 Fahrenheit.
Yes.
Oh my word. We're approaching 40% of the stock now has already gone in our first live hour. They're also non-stick as well, but don't worry about all that. We will cover that over the next 24 hours. That's what we're here for. 427025 is your item number. These are your Zuri brand new texture plates is what we are looking at in these. Demos galore throughout the hour. If you have any questions about the texture plates, well, email me in studio@channel.com. We've got Kathryn here. We'll ask Kathryn throughout the hours. If we don't do it this hour, we'll roll them over to the 8 o'clock hour as well. Do not fear. But getting quick. Is it going to be the stock or will it be the clock? It's going to be one of those things. It all depends. We are ridiculously busy. £37.97. You've got that £10 saving on there as well. But if your budget now, all budgets are different, okay? We know all budgets are different, and we try and give you the best saving that we can on your one-day special, and that is why it is a one-day special. You can go for them individually if you want to do. Your details are now on the screen. So now treat these as 3 individuals. We've also got another 2 that you can get individually as well. Individually, they're £15.99, and they all come under the same item number. 599823 is your item number for what we're looking at the moment. So you can go for your one-day special individually. If you want only one of them, your budget will only stretch to one of them, £15.99. Or you could go for the one-day special, and if your budget would stretch £37.97 for your one-day special, you could also go for both of these as well. 30, 40, 50. That would then, if my math is correct, would take you over the £60 mark, which means you could then open a flexible basket and you are getting all 5, 3, 4, 5 of your textured backgrounds. That would be a collection and a half. If you could go for all 5 of them, if your budget will go for your one-day special, because that's where the saving is, and then go for your extras as well. £69.95 is what you're looking at, which opens your flexible basket around 2 flexible payments. That's your one-day special and your 2 moulds as well. Obviously, you buy them individually because they're the same item number, but obviously they're £15.99 each. They're brand new today. Brand new today is what we're looking at. This one now, the mask wall. And then, so you've got the mask wall, and then you've also got, which is this. This one's beautiful. The detail,
that
quite
is
Art
gorgeous.
Deco-esque.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Hopefully we'll get to use that during this hour. If not, we'll definitely get to it during one of the hours.
It is.
Stunning.
And then, so that is the look at the depth.
I know.
Because to look at them, you don't think, oh, they're not very deep. They won't do much. But the minute you pull the clay, the resin out of there, you get a perfect impression every single time, don't you?
You
They are
certainly
stunning.
do. You really, really do. They are absolutely stunning. And again, the detail there, if you're looking at the one on the screen right now, it reminds me of sort of that Zentangle sort of doodly art. And that, of course, that is your doodle-oodle. So you can, the word doodle is in there. So there are ways you can still bring in more detail if you wanted to as well when you've created these from clay. Depending on the type of clay you're working with, there's all sorts of different mediums. Again, there, to achieve a look like that, all you need is you can go with straight with the white air dry clay if you like, and then go with black gesso and then your gilding wax, so your paints over the top. Or if you stay with us throughout the shows, we've got so many different mediums that will bring out the detail in these so well and give you lots of different options. But
That's
it is,
beautiful.
I mean, I think that one is probably definitely one of my favourites.
That would look stunning if you've got the peacock. I think we've got the peacock on the show. We have got the peacock on the show. That would look beautiful with the peacock in front.
Yes,
Because
it
you've got
would,
all those
yeah.
beautiful peacock feathers
Yes,
that are
it
in
would.
there as well. So you've got all that design of the peacock. We're busy across the board. Right then, we've been told to move on because we are ridiculously busy. 599823 for individuals if you want to. Remember your one-day special. Oh my, this is flying out the door. I don't know if this is going to last, let alone the 2 hours. We are on 40% at the moment. We're approaching 40% of the stock now has already gone here. Right then, something else that we've got 2 new moulds on the show as well. 2 new moulds on the show. These are your wings in the wind. These are your wings in the wind that you're looking at the moment. You're getting your 3 moulds on these now. Now, the difference between our moulds and our texture plates, Kathryn, is it the depth and the detail?
There's so much detail in everything, but yes, the depth is greater on the mould. You've got more depth there. So, of course, you're going to take those out as individual casts. So they're finished pieces, so to speak, rather than a background. Absolutely beautiful. So much detail in there again. But, I mean, working, you can see the little jar there on the screen. Using one of the texture plates around a jar and then the moulds on top. Absolutely amazing. There's so many different ways you can bring the colour out. I've got to say thank you to Sylvia, who's done the samples that we've got on the front of the counter for us as well. Beautiful. Look at the detail in there. And I believe that Sylvia did that with one of my favourite techniques, and I usually show it on the show. It's just one of those washes with the paint, you know, with the acrylic paint. We'll probably go over that at some point during the one-day special. So easy to do. Over
20% of the stock. 20% of the stock now has already gone there. Is that the same mould that you've got as necklace form?
I've got the dragonfly on actually, but I've got some pieces from the new one. The new one, we've got a butterfly in there, and we've got, actually it's more of a moth this time, so we've got butterflies. We've got a couple of other dragonflies in there, very different to the ones we've already seen. And the fact that you've got 3 on 1 mould as well, and I know a lot of people are purchasing the insects. They want to collect the insects. We've had so many insects now. We've had scarab beetles, we've had spiders. Yeah. Good job Janice isn't here, I can say that word now. Yeah, we've had butterflies before, but they're all different. So you're just building up that collection.
It is nice, right? 20% of this one now has already gone. Wings in the wind, silicone mould, £19.99. Remember, that is brand new. Something else that's also brand new as well, the Alpha. This is stunning. Look at the detail on this. You imagine doing this, if you're going to use this for decorating, like cake decorating and things like that, the detail you would get from fondant icing would be sublime. It's a mix between the wolf and sort of like a dream catcher along the bottom that you've got there.
Actually, yeah.
You're quite tribal.
I think you could actually say that could be an Alsatian if you wanted it to be as well. Or maybe a husky dog.
Yes, if you did it all in white.
You've got all that beautiful ornate mane around the face there as well. Now, also on that sample, this is another one of Sylvia's. You can see we've got the other version of the wolf, white fangs. So there was one below and one above as well. That's an existing mould. Do you know, we were so busy on that when we launched it as well. We have got some stock back on for this show, so anybody that missed out on that can go for those as well. But Alpha is the one that we're looking at, and it is a big mould as well. A big, big mould.
It is a big old mould that you're getting once again. Remember, they are all oven safe as well. They're freezer safe. They're non-stick. There's no coating on there. We're going to demo all of these throughout the next 24 hours as well. So do not fear. Okay, once again, any questions, email me in studio@hochanda.com. If you want to see something, we'll try and squeeze it in for a demonstration as well. 30% of Alpha has now already gone in the first live hour. Right then, the next ones we're about to see as well, we have seen before. What I would do personally, I would shop ahead of me on the website. For the sheer fact we have to show you, then we have to talk about them, and then we have to give the details. If you want something on the show, really shop ahead, because I've got brand new paints on the show. We've got all sorts on here, so really do shop ahead. Now, you've seen these ones before, but once again, my word, they're already busy. Now, you're getting both of these for £19.99. You get the lovable bugs, and also, I love this horse.
He's absolutely beautiful. He really is. Now, we don't have a sample out today of Majesty Warrior, but I'm sure, well, I've got some, I'm sure I can find some for the next shows. I've got some in a box behind me as well, and we will probably work with these at some point during the one-day special.
They are stunning. That was my bad. They are, you can choose from, you don't get both of them, sorry, you choose from £19.99. They are your Warrior. Look at that for your Warrior, and there is the I think they are absolutely stunning. If you've never used Zuri before, it's well worth. For these sorts of prices, you're not going to be disappointed. You're really, really not. 163002 is your item number. For these two, same item number, you just pick which one you are after. Then we're moving down the bottom. Another 2 options, same item number here. Now, these ones I really do adore. They are absolutely beautiful. They are your Fire Breather and your Peacock Splendor. that you've got in there. £19.99 for one of them. But my word, once again, it's the detail in Zuri Moulds that I absolutely adore. It is stunning. Look at that.
Now, the peacock, I'll just explain about this one because we did the A1 resin show not so long ago and I did the rust effect on this one. That's why it is that colour. But you can do this any colour you want. Please watch out tomorrow for the peacock. If we've got, I really hope we have, because I'm going to do a technique with the polymer clay that we've got on the show that I haven't done before, that I think will really bring that to life beautifully. So I'm hoping we'll still have stock of that tomorrow.
Get them while you can. £19.99, 699-224 is your item number. Now, oh, the majestic swan. Swan Dreams is what you're getting here. Once again, I absolutely love it. I've just been informed as well, we have got less than a handful on the swan. So if you do like the swan, £18.99. These are returning favourites now. So maybe you're brand new to the collection, you're just jumping on board. Maybe you missed them last time they were here. Time to stock up if you can at these sorts of prices as well. It's well worth having a little go. 635856 is your item number, £18.99. Then below, you've got your Medusa and you've got your white fangs as well. Now, this is the wolf that would match beautifully with Alpha that we've also got on the show, one of those brand new moulds that we've already got. Once again, I absolutely adore these. They are absolutely stunning because you can go from that to that. And I reckon it doesn't matter what you do, but don't see them as two-dimensional moulds because they're not, because you can really mould these and they're really quite malleable. You can put them on things, can't you? You can, and you can take areas from the mould and sort of decoupage pieces as well, so you really can bring them to life. Some will work, you know, more easily than others, but do you know what? Beautiful. And we're just about to see Medusa as well. She's one of our favourites. She's absolutely amazing. The detail in this one as well, if you look around her eyes, you can see the cracks in her face. If you're liking the effects that you're seeing on some of these samples as well, I used the Viva decor on this one. So paints, we've got the waxes as well, so do be shopping ahead on those as well. Really would, £19.99, 036051 is your item number. I cannot get over the detail in that. Is absolutely beautiful. Right then, we're going to bring up the details for these. These are the details, £19.99, 043117. I apologise, the details were wrong. These are the right details now. 043117 is your item number for this. We are ridiculously busy. We've got the King up next. That's not Elvis. Can you imagine if there's a Zuri mould of Elvis? That'd be amazing. I'd buy it. We've got the King himself. With also, this is the first. Is this the first Zuri mould that actually has words in as well?
No, the owl was the first one.
Oh.
The owl was.
I love it though. Look at the detail. So once again, if you're doing your home decor, and you know them ornate drawer handles that you can get, you could make a cracking one out of this. You put this at the back with the circles, with the little drawer that you get as well at the door handle.
Well, I'm tempted to get a little curtain ring or something and make a hole through his nose and make him into a door knocker.
Oh, yes.
Only because, you see, my mum used to have a brass door knocker that was a lion and I loved it. And every time I see a lion now, I think of that door knocker.
How small's your door?
The door knocker's not as big as the door, is it?
Well, no, but that's compared.
No, it wouldn't go on my own door. It would go on a canvas or something. On a door that I created.
Oh, okay, on a door that I was going to say, on your front door. Pop it in, Peter. Where's the knocker gone?
Well, I'm not very big. I do live in a little cottage.
You live in a little quaint cottage, you do. You do. Well, like she lives in a toadstool with a little lion like that. We are busy for these once again, £19.99. It's the angles on the TV make her look taller. But she's standing on a box. Now,
no, don't tell Fibs, I'm on 3 boxes, Adam.
Oh, we started off so professional. Hopefully management's gone home now. £19.90. It's like having Derek back again. £19.99 is what we're looking at. 128576 is your item number for your lion. We've got the horses. Up next is what we've got. These were Now, once again, these, if you are in, I know our Katie, who's a cracking little show jumper, she really is. This really does get you the lifelike horse.
It really does. There are 1 or 2 samples on the top there, done in different materials, so you get different effects. But just so you can see, at least one of them's there. Now that's just done with a paint wash. So that's air dry clay, I believe I did that one. The one that you hold in, the darker one, is actually the A1 resin. Again, with the rust effect, I think, on there, but you can bring out the detail with your waxes. Now, that one there is, again, the rust effect A1, but I put some silver mica powder into the mould before I brought it out.
It is beautiful. And once again, they've got a real good weight to them as well. So you know when you get them, you're buying into quality. And you're going to get perfect pours. As long as you do it right, you're going to get perfect pours, you're going to get perfect moulds every single time with these. Talking
of quality, Sophie and her husband Mike, I mean, they've worked so hard at this. This is quite a new business. They're over in America. I do hope they're watching tonight. Hi, guys, if you are. But I've got to say that the quality is absolutely exceptional because Sophie did not want to cut any corners whatsoever. There are different qualities of silicone. There are different grades of silicone. She wanted the best, and that is certainly what you're getting. And if you look at the website as well, you'll see so many 5-star reviews.
And it is true. And we're not just saying that there are many a website out there that you may be able to get these from. You can't. These are Zuri's own, okay? There's people that are trying out there, but really go for what your budget will afford. And today, for £19.99, you are getting top quality. 995335 is your item number. Last but no means least, we've got the I love the mythical
Curial
beast one.
Beast, this
Curial Beast, absolutely beautiful that we're getting there once again. 341331 is your item number, and it's the detail in this which I absolutely adore. Let me just pop this in just so you can see. Once again, would make a beautiful door knocker.
It would. There is a coloured sample on the back shelf as well. I don't know if our lovely director can get that. That one again done with the rust effect because it's from the A1. But of course, there we are. I always say this one looks to me like a sea serpent as well.
Well, I didn't know what you're going for. I don't know if I'm in the way of the shot. Because if I do this, I'm in the way of the shot. Look, if I stand there, I'm in the way. So I thought I'd duck down, and now I'm just at Kathryn's height. I just look ridiculous standing here. Right, then, we're busy across the... We've had a sellout already. Our Swan has now technically sold out. £18. I don't even want to bother telling you the price. It's gone. Sold out. Oh, God, not that one. We've still got that one. That's the one that's now sold out. So, that is something we haven't seen yet. Is this, because I've not seen it either. Pegasus Flight.
Oh, this is so nice.
I like this one. It's the wings on this I like. Pegasus Flight, you've got this one, or you've got Beauty and the Beast that's there. So you've got, that's the one with the big spider in, which is when you look at it it's absolutely phenomenal, and you can manipulate the legs that you've got there as well. You can really manipulate it for £19.99. 036051 is your item number. Dragonfly up next. Well done, photographer.
That's the one I'm wearing.
Is that the one you're wearing?
That's the one I'm wearing, yes, and I've shaped it a little bit.
I like this one. £9.99. If you're pushing out and you want Kathryn's necklace, this is the one to go for, because we've also got thread on the show as well.
We've got cord.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Cord on the website.
Not on the website. Well, it's on the website, not on the show.
There's your spider and your bee from Beauty and the Beast there as well. So I have just shaped that a little bit. These are made of resin, so I shaped them when they were part cured. Let me just tip them towards the camera so you can see there. And using the waxes and the paints on the show as well. Right, now then, I did have a plan, but I'm just looking at the time, and I've brought my oven in.
Well, I did think you said...
The plan was
you
to
do
put
live in a little house, don't you? That's your oven.
That's my little polymer clay oven. The plan was to put something in the oven so we could take it out before the end of the hour, which I need half an hour to bake it, so I can cut corners a little bit. So, do you know what? I'm going to change the way, if it's all right with our lovely producer, can I change... how I work my demos. It's using the 1 day special, but just to get the polymer clay in first so I can get it in the oven, okay?
Should have really done this first,
Right.
shouldn't we? We should
So,
have really spoken about this.
I'm using, oh, now which doodle is this
I
one?
love the
This is
doodle.
from the 1 day special, I think.
What do?
Is that the doodle medley? I believe it is. It's in the 1 day special.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
okay,
yes,
so
it
that's
is.
what I'm going to use. Right, you can do this with air dry clay. I have done this technique before with air dry clay. Is that the one? Oh, is it from the other one?
That's from the other one.
Oh, I've got resin in it. I've got resin in it. Let me find the other one. I don't know if I've got that. Is that the
Has
one?
that gone?
No, see, I've got it. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Oh, really limited stock on that one. Well, I'll give you updates in a minute,
It's
don't worry.
this one then. That's all right. I'll go with this one. This is from the 1 day special now. So the doodle medley. There's too many doodles.
Too many doodles.
Too
in
many
this
doodles.
show.
Now, there's a little bit of corn flour on there. It doesn't matter. I haven't got the air dry clay. I'm going to do this very, very quickly because I've got a bit prepped. You've seen this technique done before with air dry clay, but not with the polymer. Okay, so I've got 3 colours of the Pardo polymer clay that we've got on the show. I would normally soften this up. I would condition it by warming it because I want it more malleable. I can't do that now because we haven't got time, but what I would do is shape into a pear shape, and I've chosen 3 colours, white, red, and also blue as well. Now, I'm not making these into shapes that are even. This is the Pardo clay, the polymer clay. I'm going sort of the wider bit at the top and the narrow bit at the bottom there, and then the other way up, so the kind of top and tail, and then back with the blue on that side. So it's wider at the top, thinner at the bottom there, and different in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what I've got with me, and I'm going to be totally honest with you, and I do say this every time I use polymer clay, if you want to work with polymer clay, you do not need this tool, but if you've got a pasta machine, or you can buy a pasta machine, it is the best tool you will ever buy because
Okay.
it saves you so much time, it saves your hands, and you can do some amazing techniques with it. So what I would do with this now, I've got the pasta machine here. I'm just going to turn the dial to just to the widest setting, which on here is number 1. Okay, so I'm just going to feed through the clay so you can see how easy that is just to do that. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it quite a few times. What I would do now is fold that in half, and because those lines aren't equal, I'm kind of crossing those colours over. Then you would go through again and you would keep doing this technique, and then once you've gone through, let's say 10 times, 8 to 10 times, okay, on that setting, I would then close the roller with the adjustable knob at the side there and start going through on a thinner setting. And I would keep doing that and folding it over until what you end up with is this. So you end up with a beautiful blend. So you can see the white was at this side, into the red, into the blue, but it's formed a purple. And you've got that lovely blend there.
That's nice.
Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is take the mat from the 1 day special. I'm actually going to fold this in half, so I'm not going to cover the whole of it. I'm just going to get a certain area there. Doesn't matter that it's not the right shape because I can cut this down afterwards. Now with polymer clay, I don't tend to put, oh, look, it's all over my hands. I don't tend to put corn flour in there. You don't need it. But I'm going to lay that on the top, and this is my tip because you can work with these in different ways. You can either roll over the top or you can put your clay underneath. But what I'm going to do, because this isn't going to stick, silicone is non-stick. Apart from the air dry clay, if it's too wet, it can stick in there. I've got a silicone sponge here, so any sort of cut and dry sponge or a makeup sponge, use that just to sort of press into the mould, and straight away you can see the texture that's coming through. What that's going to do, that's going to grip that for you, okay? So then I could go over the top with the rolling pin, and if it sticks to the rolling pin, a trick for you is to spritz with water, okay? Just water, not anything else, and that will stop that rolling pin sticking. Okay, now the roller is from, we have got the toolkit on the show, and we've got blades in there as well, which I absolutely love. If you haven't got any rollers or any blades, go for this kit. I'm going to be using these a lot throughout the demonstrations.
Okay.
Now I am actually now, probably didn't need to put the water on there because I didn't actually need it, but I want to show you all the hints and tips. I'm now going to turn that over, and I am pressing that down onto the glass mat because it will stick, the clay will stick to it, or it would if there wasn't water on there. Okay, now I'm going to go over on the back as well, just to really make sure that I've got that lovely texture, because what you don't want to do is roll and everything be moving around. Then I'm going to start to peel back
Oh my word.
the texture mat. Now what has happened there, I've used the mat as a tool. It's holding the clay, and as I peel back the texture mat, it's stuck to the mat. So that came away so easily without having to sort of prise it off. Now something else I've got here are the blades from that kit that I'm just talking about. Now you get 3 blades. Do not let the children get these because they are blades, but these are such a wonderful tool. You get one that's very flexible, and there is a sharp edge. You can see where the sharper edge is. You can see the difference of the edges there. It's got fingerprints all over it. Okay, you get another one, but it's a little bit firmer.
Okay.
And you get one with ridges on it as well. I'll not explain what they're all for at the minute, 'cause it's different techniques. But what I'm going to do is use the firmer one, and I'm just going to trim this down. So if you've got a particular project in mind, of course, then you can trim down to suit. Now, what also you can do with these texture mats is they will match, the patterns will match. So if you want to join bits together, you can do. Okay, now with the clay, the polymer clay, never ever waste a scrap. So everything that I'm cutting off here, I will be keeping and I can use. Okay, so never ever throw anything away. It's not perfectly straight, but that's fine, and you can sand this afterwards, you can do all sorts of things with it. But that's now stuck to my mat, so what I'm going to do is get one of my blades, and I'm just going to get that underneath. Because I put water on this mat as well, I'll have to be careful for the air dry clay. I'm going to go with the firmer one actually, because it will be a little bit better for me. Because of the water, if I put air dry clay on there, it would make it stick to it, but it stops sticking with the polymer, so it's the opposite. So what I've got there, I'm just going to turn that mould over. Can we see? I've got a little bit of white clay in there, but there we are. Just look at the details. So what I've got there is an ombre effect going through there. I don't like that little blob in the middle, but that's not going to worry me at the moment. I'm going to put this in the oven, and we're going to have a look at this before the end of the show, and we're going to put some wax on there and bring out that detail. Now, I must explain about the oven. Anybody looking at this will be thinking, oh, you can put it in the microwave. You cannot put polymer clay in the microwave. This is a combination oven, so I can use just the oven part of it.
Yeah, combi oven.
Now, you bake the polymer clay at 120 degrees for just half an hour. Oh, it's talking to me. For just half an hour. Just because of the purpose of demonstration and time here, and I needed to let it cool a little bit, I'm going to cut that time down. At home, please do the proper temperature, the proper time, because your clay won't be at its best unless you give it proper time. This is just for demonstration purposes. I'm going to set that going, Adam. I don't know if you want to do a quick recap while I get that going.
Of course I can.
And then we'll come back.
We are busy across the board on your one-day special. So, your one-day special, oh my word. You're getting 3 of the texture plates that you've got in there already. We've just seen one of them in use now. £37.97 is what you're looking at for your one-day special. We are now approaching 50%. Approaching 50% of the one-day special stock in the first live hour. 427025 is your item number, £37.97, and you're saving £10. Remember, if your budget won't stretch to £37.97, do not worry. If you're thinking, oh, I'd love one of them, I can't, my budget won't stretch to all 3, but I'd love to have a go with one of them. We've got them individually. We've got them individually as well, so if you want to go for your one-day special individually, you can. There's also 2 extra options that you've got down this end. Have we got both of these options individually? Oh, so we have got back in stock now your Doodles one as well. So some have got bounced back out of baskets. That's your Doodle-oodle. So if you want your Doodle-oodle, I sound like I'm yodeling. If you want your Doodle-oo, high on a hill lives a lonely goat herd. If you want your Doodle-oodle, there'll be goats walking through in a minute, and the Von Trapp family singing. If you want it, get it, because it was in people's baskets. It's jumped out your basket. If anything is in your baskets for longer than 10 minutes, it's technically not yours until you check it out, and the phone calls take preference. So if you ring the call centre, you take precedence over people in the baskets as well. The quickest and the easiest thing to do is shop ahead of me on the website. I've got clay on there. I've got resin on the show. We've got so much to get through in one single hour. Remember, Every hour will be different. We'll have different focuses. We'll look at different things. So this is our launch hour. We're back at 8 o'clock this evening. 5-star reviews after 5-star reviews. We've got Resins on the show. We've got Acom on the show. We've got Viva Decor on the show. We sound like the bill for Top of the Pops. We've got so much on this show. Shop ahead. Right then, I'm conscious of the time. Let's see more demos.
Okay. Right, I'm ready. So now this is where I was going to start, because I like to start with the basics. So anybody who's never used the moulds before, we've got the hearty clay, the lightweight air dry clay, which many people have bought. Again, everybody loves this. So if you want to start at the very beginning and you've never worked with any clay before, this is a good option. We do the colours, but of course you can colour and you can paint and you can use all your different mediums for colouring this. So we'll go with alpha this time, I think.
Oh, I love alpha.
So straight from the pack, this is the hearty clay. What I tend to do, straight from the pack, is, again, I manipulate this, I stretch it because it's got moisture in there. It's super lightweight, it dries very strong, and you can put, as I say, all sorts of paints and finishes on it. But I don't want to use it straight from the pack into the mould because it can be too sticky. So I have had this sitting out. I always say this to everybody, if ever you flex your mould and the clay is bending with the mould or bits of sort of breaking or splitting apart, it's because your clay is too wet. This one is actually one of the easiest ones to work with. Okay. Simply because you haven't got lots of very thin areas like legs and antennae. You've got lots of detail in there, which is great, but you've got quite a solid form. So I'm just going to go straight into the mould, as I always do, but we always get new people watching as well. Sometimes, you know, oh, now if you can hear a humming, it's my oven. Oh, and something else I must tell you as well. The only place you can get Zuri moulds is here at Hochanda if you're in the UK. Nobody else has got them in the UK. You can't get them anywhere else.
See, that's good to know. And that's what I was touching on earlier when I spoke about there's many people out there stating they got Zuri moulds or they got moulds that are similar to Zuri. The only way you can get these in the United Kingdom is from us here on Hochanda, okay? So that is one of the big things, and that is the perk of buying through us as well. You get that peace of mind. You're buying into quality for Zuri. Let's go back to demo.
You are. Now I don't know if I did say, I can't remember now. I did dust this one with cornflour because I'm using the air dry clay. So what you're looking for here is a nice finish. You want to make sure this is nice and flat at the top. So when you go over the top with your rolling pin, another good reason for getting the toolkit if you haven't got these, not only does it show where the areas are a little bit low, it shows where you've got too much clay as well. So I can see there where it's overlapping. I can just pull that away and fill in that little area there because, you know, I can. Or I can go with a fingertip if it's only just hanging over the edge.
How do you know if you've got too much clay?
Let me just press down on there again. Can you see? If you really roll hard, you can see the edge of the mould, so you can see where there's excess. Okay. If it's just little bits, just pull it in. And if you've got big dips in there, then fill it up with clay. Another tip to make sure that you've got all of this detail picked up is, again, to turn it the other way up when you've got it in there and roll on the back. But if you have got water on your mat, your air dry clay will stick to it. I always neaten the edges off with a fingertip by pulling in from the edge, because that means I don't have to worry about tidying it up afterwards. It's all done for me. So at the bottom, you've got little areas of hair there, you know, the mane, the fur. So you want to make sure that's nice and neat. If you do miss any bits, don't worry, you can snip these off afterwards with a pair of scissors or a craft knife. But for me, it's better to make sure you do it now. So what I'm going to do now is flex this one. And because my clay has been drying, can you see what happens there? As I flex that, it is literally just popping up. In fact, that's just going to fall out of there. And the detail on that is absolutely incredible.
Hey, stunning.
Now I'm going to let this one dry and we'll use that in another demonstration, probably tomorrow because I'll need to let that dry overnight, but the detail really is incredible and there's an awful lot you can do to change that. So that's the air dry clay. We've got the polymer clay in the oven. Let's show you the air dry clay on one of the texture mats as well. And I'll show you something you can do with it. Now this isn't in the one day special.
No, this is one of the separates.
The individuals, yeah. It's the damask one, yes, that's right. Right, so with this one, because I'm using air dry clay and not polymer, I have dusted this. These, by the way, can go in a dishwasher. You can wash them with soapy water. So don't worry. And with your moulds as well, if you're not using them for food, you can also use things like hot glue, your UTs, all those different things. So what I've done here is roll that out. I don't want it too thin because I want to press this down. If you wanted to do the full area, make sure it does cover, but you know, I'm just for demonstrations and I'm not worrying about it too much. Again, I'm going to let that grip onto the surface. If you find your fingers are sticking to it, a little bit of corn flour with the air dry clay will stop that. But also the sponge idea would also work as well. So once it's got a grip there, then you can start to go over the top again. Or you can turn it the other way up and go from the other side, but you want to make sure that that clay isn't moving around on the texture mat. Okay.
Just before we move on, your doodle oodle, that was one of your separate ones, I think it was the yodeling. It's a technical sellout now. It's a technical sellout, so if you wanted doodle oodle, it's now gone. Okay, if any bounce back, I will let you know, but at the moment, it's now a technical sellout. They're all individual if you wanted to, or you got the one-day special. Let's go back to demo.
Okay, so now you can see again how easily this is going to come away. This is air dry clay, and look how that has just come away. If I turn this way, so you can see the detail on there, and I'm going to point something out to you now. I am going to cut into this a little bit, simply because if I get my blade again, let's just trim away the top where it overlaps.
These blades are handy to have, aren't they?
They're very, very handy. And they are sharp, so make sure you put the cover on and put them safe. Now, if I trim away at the bottom, that's just where the edge of the mould is, okay? If I just point out to you here, can you see the bottom of this pattern? If we can come in nice and close, hopefully you can see. We will get it on the overhead for you because you'll get a better view. Oh, and you can see all the clay down my nail there as well. There, can you see the bottom of the pattern there? If you follow that down, at the other side you can see the top of the same pattern, so you can join these together and make, you know, really large sheets. You can do that. Okay, so you don't have to worry about being able to match these up. It's like wallpaper, it's automatically going to do it for you. Now, something I have got, I don't know the size of this actually. I've just got an MDF circle. Oh, that's a good fit, look at that. What I'm going to do with this, while this is wet, because air dry clay, polymer clay won't do this, it won't shrink, it stays as it is. Okay. But air dry clay, depending on the moisture in there, will shrink a little bit. So that's another good reason to let it dry out somewhat before you put it into the mould. Just going to find one of my old brushes. So what I'm going to do here, this is wet clay, remember, it's not dried out. I'm actually just going to put a little bit of PVA, and I'm only putting a very, very thin coat on here. It will just grip the clay, but if you overload it with glue, it will make your clay go very sticky. In fact, it could make it go quite gooey.
Okay, okay. It puts the moisture back in.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just a very thin coat there. Then I'm going to stick that over the top. Do you know, if I want to be really picky about this, I could get that central. Okay, now I don't want to press too hard because I don't want to ruin the pattern. Now what I could do is wait until it's totally dry, but why waste clay? I'm actually going to cut around the edge of this, leaving just a little bit overhanging, just because I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to go too close in case the clay just shrink a little bit. And then when that's dried, you see I can reuse all of that. When I trim that down, when it's properly dry, which it will be overnight, I will then trim round with my scissors so it's close to the edge, and that will give me a lovely background to build on. So we'll use that in a demonstration tomorrow. We'll add colour to that, we'll do different things to it. But again, it shows you the lovely texture that you're getting. Right, how are we doing for time? I've got something else to show you. Oh, this is quite funny actually. I've just got to, just bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to bring another mat in. Here we are. Right, I'm not being greedy, I've got 2 glass mats simply because we're going to use the high build resin from Silicone.
Oh, now, okay, we'll bring up the details for this now.
We did a show, oh, I don't know when it was now. It was the first time we ever saw high build, and it was manufactured for artists. You know the blob painting? Yeah. So it's different because a normal resin, when you put it onto a surface, it naturally finds its level and it gives a thin coat, it spreads. The high build is much thicker and gloopier and it holds its shape. So I've been experimenting with it and I've found out all sorts of things I can do with it that I can now share with you. I didn't want to say anything before in case it didn't work, but I've been trying this out and testing it. Now, here, I'm going to show you how to mix this. This makes me smile because I don't know if we can just catch a look at this. This is one of the mats, I forget which one I put it on now, but that was, or is, the high build, which has a beautiful gloss finish. But can you see how many fingerprints are in there? I don't know who it is, but while this has been sat on the desk, I think everybody's been walking past and sticking their fingers in there.
Well, we got fingerprints in there. We could dust it down and have a look.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because that's the back. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do this. We may be able to reveal this at 8 o'clock tonight. I don't think this is set enough to do it now. So I think it's going to be 8 o'clock. Okay, right, I'll explain that. Yeah, I'm definitely going to leave that a little bit longer. I've also put some of the high build in the mould as well. So I can't release that because, again, I need to let it cure a little bit more. Okay. But let me talk about that as we go through. Now, if you haven't got one of these, John Lockwood's mixed media mat, they're made of silicone. These are on the website, I believe. These are absolutely brilliant. I didn't make all that mess, by the way. I made some of it.
I want to say
John let me have the one he'd been working on. Crafts 2, yeah.
I think they're one of the Crafts 2 mats.
Because these are silicone, if you're working with resin or anything, your heat gun, anything, the resin in particular, they will not stick to this. You can just peel it away. So it's a great surface to work with. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to find a different mould, actually. Let's go for one of the dragonflies. So we've got, this is the necklace that I'm wearing. So I'm going to go for the high build as well. Now my pots might be a different colour to yours because I think I had some of the original, because this is so new. So if your pots come a different colour, don't worry. One of them is a resin and one of them is a hardener. Okay, so I've already got my little spoons in there. We've also got, I'm going to put my gloves on before I forget as well. This is non-toxic, there's no odour to it as well, but resin's sticky.
Okay.
So, you know, I would say wear gloves. We've got plenty available at the moment, haven't we? Because if it gets on your skin, it's not that it will hurt your skin, but it's sticky. And I've washed my hands today. And do you know what I found? Brought it off better than anything else.
The sanitizer on the way into the studio.
The alcohol sanitizer, the alcohol brings it off your skin. So if you do use resin without gloves on and it gets on your skin and you can't wash it off with soap and water, we've all got the hand sanitizer, use that. It's the alcohol in it.
Quickly give you the details for these, because some people are wincing of you putting those gloves on. I think, oh, brings back memories. £24.60 is what you're looking at. 702060 is your item number. It's the Elechem 400 grams high build, and you get the 200 of the resin and 200 of the hardener as well. So that's obviously where your 400 grams. We've also got a kilogram bundle. If you need more of your resin, if you want to go big, or you might as well go home. £69.99 is what you're looking at. 550812 is your item number. Look on the website for those. Right then, let's go back to Dr. Kathryn.
Right, now I've got my scales, so I'm just going to turn those on. And wait till they're good to know. I've got my little silicone cup because I can clean these out very easily. These are easy to get hold of. That obviously weighs something, so I'm going to go back to naught. There we are, back to naught, and it's a one part mix. So okay, 1 part hardener, 1 part resin. So make sure you put the right lids back on the pots. Now this is much thicker than the other resins, and it looks quite milky. It's quite white, it's not clear. So you're not going to use, if you want your clear resin, we've got the other one that we've had on before, and we will be using that as well. I'm not going to mix a lot because we haven't got long now. Oh, the oven's still going as well, isn't it? How long have I got?
We've got about...
I might have to stop that.
We've only got 6 seconds left in the microwave.
Oh no.
4, 3
seconds.
Seconds, yeah, like that's going to go off now.
Okay, right. I'm only going to mix a small amount of this just to show you, because I know we're near the end of the show, and I've got one ready. 8 grams is all I put in there, so I'm going to put the same of the other mix in, put them together. So 16. This wants to go to 16. Oh, got to be careful of that. Right, we've just gone slightly over, but that's fine. Let me just find another spoon to mix this. You will get, if you go for the smaller kit, does it come with the black and white? It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, the smaller kit comes with the black and white as well. It comes with a tint that you've got in there.
Oh no, where's the black? Oh, it's there. Right,
so you get the resin and the hardener, and then you also get the black and white tint in there as well.
Right, you know I said those images we show from the packaging, and if you want the sort of look that you see on the packaging, this is another way of doing it. I've got the resin here. You need the smallest amount. I'm just dipping that into the pot, and then I'm going to stir that into the mix that I've got here. Now this is the blackout, that's what they call it. There's various different colours. In the set you get the black and the white. That's because I requested those colours, because as a base we prefer to work from black or white when we're adding waxes and paints, so it's an ideal kit. But if you do want other colours, they are available on the website. Okay, now because we're running out of time, I'm not going to stir that for as long as I should do. At home, please do stir that for at least 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, because you want to make sure that's really, really well mixed. I'm not going to give it that long simply because of the time. I've got, this is from the One Day Special. This is the Lancet Windows, I believe.
Yes,
I think that's the right one. Right, I'm now going to get a spatula, just a plastic spatula. Any plastic tools, yes, that is a spatula. Any plastic tools, I've got a better one actually, will clean off. The silicone, as it dries, it will just flake away. If you work with metal or wood, it's going to stick to it, okay? So I'm going to use this, working on that mat, because any silicone that gets on it will come away. Now I don't know, because I've only mixed a small amount, I might not have enough to do the whole thing, but it doesn't matter. So all I'm doing is using the spatula and working it over the texture plate. Now if you went with the regular resin, the clear one, because it's a lot thinner, what you would find is it would probably sit into the grooves, but if you're trying to overfill it so you've got a back piece, it's going to start running off the edge. Okay, so the high build is much, much thicker. So where I put it, it's really going to stay. But it will level as well. So just using the spatula, I'm spreading that over, and that's all there is to it. You want to make sure that you've covered every bit, so you want it on thick enough, not only to go into the detail there, but to give a coating over the top. So if you see any of the posts or any of the blue sticking through, you want to add a little bit more. You can actually go with one coat, and if you find you've missed a bit, go on again with another coat. Yeah. So you can build it up in layers as well. Nice. That will start to set quite quickly, but you want to let it cure for a certain amount of time. Now there's two choices here. You can either let it cure fully, in which case you're going to have a plate. You're going to have a plate. You could cut that down with different tools, but if you want to shape that around something, let it cure for about 6 to 8 hours, depending on the temperature. If it's really warm in your house, it might not take quite as long. That's what I'm going to hopefully show you at 8 o'clock. I've had some curing that I've tried to time for 8 o'clock tonight. You can tell when it's ready, simply because if I take my glove off just to show you, what you will find is when it's, you know, when it's dry enough, when it's cured enough, you'll be able to start to peel it away. If you can't easily peel it away, then don't pull at it because you'll stretch it, okay? So I know that's not ready yet because I know it's too stretchy, okay? The same with the mould as well. Let me just start to flex. Can you see if I'm flexing that mould? The resin is bending with it. This is the new wings mould. So the resin is bending with the mould. If I just push with my fingertip underneath, it is just starting to cure enough that I can just start to push that wing out. But I know if I pull at that now, it's not cured enough without stretching it. Okay, so I don't want to force it out. We'll just leave it a little bit longer. But during the shows, we will be using this resin for different reasons as well. It's a really, really good resin, and the fact that you've got the black and white, you imagine, I did have one somewhere, where's it gone? Don't know where it is. I'll see if I can find it for later. When you've got that base, then you can go over the top with all your paints, your waxes and everything else. Now, I heard the oven go. Just a reminder for anybody that has just tuned in, this is a combination oven. Do not ever microwave polymer clay because it will burn it. So I've got it on an oven setting, so follow the instructions, 120 degrees, half an hour. I've given it a little bit less. Let me just show you something here. Because this is warm, and it is very warm actually, it's quite bendy. Okay. Okay, don't be tempted to play with that, just let it cool. I'm just wondering now whether to do this at 8 o'clock, so I want to add some finish, and it is a little bit warm, so I'm not going to get that. So what I'm going to do is just show you the detail on there as well. Please do tune in at 8 o'clock, and we will continue with this, and we'll really bring this to life.
There you go. Oh, I love a cliffhanger. I love a cliffhanger of a show. I love these ones.
We'll put something else in the oven as well.
Oh, are you?
Yes, we will.
Kathryn's going to pop something else in the oven. I hope it's a Bakewell tart. Oh, delicious. Victoria sponge. Right, I've got updates to do. So, oh my word, approaching 60% of your one-day special. Approaching 6% individually, they're flying out the door as well. So individually, where are we starting for the Doodle Medley? Approaching limited stock. Lanceless Windows, over 80%. Your Motif, over 60%. Your Damask Wall is very, very busy, and we've already got a sellout as well. If you want them getting quick, your Doodle Medley, I think it's going to be the second to go individually. Our new Alpha mould, the Wolf mould, very, very busy. Have we got an update for the Alpha mould? Approaching 60% for the Alpha mould as well, so if you want it, get it while you can. Who knows what will be here at 8 o'clock. Right then, we've got many more demos to come. We've got all your emails that we've been listening to throughout the hour as well, but I just haven't had time to read them out. We'll get them printed off, I'll have them in the studio, and we'll have a little flick through, see what we can answer during your 8 o'clock show as well. Thank you for watching. Check out your baskets as well. Thank you, Kathryn. It's been a pleasure.
Can't wait
Let's go for a brew. And we'll reconvene.
Yes, let's
Molly makes a very good brew. Very good brew, Mol. Well, don't you go anywhere. There's so much more to shop for. Check out your baskets. That's all I can ask. Who knows what we left.